past few years, my father has been recovering from a drug addiction. It wasn't always like that. Before his addiction, he was a happy, loving life, kind of just an average guy. And then one day at work, there was an accident. This traumatic event traumatized him, and, well, he got burned on 85 to almost 90% of his body, and he almost died. So the event was so horrible to him that it changed his brain. It literally, it messed him up terribly. And because of that, he resorted to drug addiction. His brain couldn't cope with the fact that this event happened to him, that something clicked, and he had to find happiness somewhere else. So because of this, I believe that that addictive behavior is an uncontrollable mental disorder. It's something they can't help. With my new understanding, people who think that drug addictions are habits are wrong. There's no way a habit and a drug addiction can be the same thing. One is way worse than the other. A habit defined by Dr. Carl Smith from the Fix says, and a habit is an association that builds up between a stimulus. And the ASAM defines an addiction as a primary chronic disease of brain reward, motivation, memory, and related circulatory. So a habit is something that builds up over time, while an addiction is something in your brain that your brain is messed up. So reward sensories are off, you don't know what's right, you don't know what's wrong, your memories are even tampered with. So the biggest lie someone can believe is that an addiction is a habit or a phase someone is going through. And then another is that addiction is just in someone's head, that they don't really have a problem, they just are going through something right now. I say that because no healthy person in their right mind that I know would want to kill themselves, kill their body, ruin their life, spend all their money, hurt everyone they love for a 5-minute high. It's because their brain has changed and it's altered so much that they need that addiction to live life. Someone with depression or schizophrenia or another mental disorder doesn't choose to have it. They don't want to be depressed, be crazy. They want to get help. I've talked to many addicts in my life. It's prone to be in my family, so I can talk to anyone. And no addict that I've talked to wants to be addicted. They say it's something in them that they can't help, they can't change. They need something a little more to help them get better. The ASAM even states that although people choose to get high, it is important to appreciate that addiction is not solely a function of choice. Not a function of choice. People don't want to be addicted. It's something they can't help. So as I was telling you in the beginning, my dad is still recovering. He'll probably recover for the rest of his life. Your brain just can't snap back and be like, oh, okay, I'm better. I'm happy. Let's live life. But as someone with an addiction, he can get medication to help his brain heal. Just like someone with addiction would get, or someone with a depression would get an antidepressant to help them heal. It helps their brain go back to normal. So with all the information that I gave you, I hope that you all can come to the realization that addictive behavior is a mental disorder, not a phase.
Where did your dad go to get help?
He went to a rehab facility up in Richmond for a while, but now he is the director of NA here in town, so that helps him a lot.
Would you say that someone who is interested in taking drugs, that first instance that they would ever experience drugs, is that a sign that they have some mental disorder?
It could be, I guess. Maybe there's something like wrong and they're not getting what they need in life, so they resort to another method of getting what they need.
But does that mean that they have a mental disorder or
Not
a mental?
all of them, I guess I would say, but it's who have a mental illness, usually, I don't know, like get an addiction, have an addiction. Not just to drugs, they can be addicted to food, gambling, TV. It even said that people can be addicted to sadness, so.
Can they ever like fully recover, or will there always be like something different?
Though, the article that I was reading said that their brain, like their body will go back to normal and their way of thinking will go back to normal, but their brain will never fully like go back to normal. It's always gonna have because it said like your receptors move and change, so you don't perceive things as before.
Do you think there'll ever be surgery or medicine to completely like reverse the addiction?
I think there'll always be addiction. It's something people can't control.
So like, someone got arrested with like drugs or something, and they say how they're addicted, and it's a mental thing. Would you say that's like enough, like to back them up a little bit to get them out of trouble a little bit?
No, I believe they still should be in trouble because it's still against the law, but there should be, like, they shouldn't just go to jail. They should be able to go to rehab and get treatment, or